Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at the early beta version of Beholder, which is not the one-eyed monster from Dungeons & Dragons. It's an interesting game that's quite hard to describe. The best I could come up with is that it's like 1984 the game, except you're working for the system rather than against it. So you play as this gentleman here who has moved into an apartment. A state order has told him to move into an apartment block, and he's tasked with running the building and also spying on everybody who lives in the building and reporting anything that breaks the rules. And in a very similar system to Papers, Please, what's against the rules of the country change as time goes on. So for example, maybe apples are considered illegal, just as a random thing. So if you find someone who's keeping apples and eating apples when they shouldn't be, you can get the police to come round to their house and beat the living crap out of them. It's a little interesting. As I say, this is a beta version, so this is not finished. It's scheduled for a fall 2016 release, probably the tail end if I had to guess. Been playing it for just over an hour. We are going to start a new game, so I hope there's multiple save slots. And it should play an intro when it thinks about it. There we are. So we are Carl Steen. We're happy to announce you've been appointed a landlord of Class D apartment block in... I'm not going to try and pronounce that. You must arrive there immediately and start working. You and your family are given an apartment on the first floor. The experimental medicine you've been injected with during the medical checkout suppresses your need for sleep. Thus you will be able to spend more time serving your motherland. Welcome to the elite official rank Ministry of Allocation. Alright, we are going to see the intro here.
Carl Steen.
And then I shall get back to you after that.
To announce you've been appointed a landlord of the Class D apartment block on Krushwitz 6. You must arrive there immediately and start working. Ministry of Allocation.
So that sets the scene nicely. That was our family. We have a wife, a son and a daughter. And that was our predecessor, who we saw getting beat up. I've already forgotten what crime it was he committed. I can't remember if the game was specific about that. But here we are in here. We get the opportunity to do the tutorial or skip it. I'm going to skip it just to hopefully get into some of the meatier stuff we're allowed to do. But we do just click on him and he talks to us. They talk kind of like gibberish in the background. There's no full voice acting beyond the cutscene, it seems, anyway, at least so far. So he's welcoming us. We get to ask him about what we're doing, how we're supposed to serve the state. I'll agree with him for now. So something you might notice in the English is that it is not perfect. I don't know if that's stylistically on purpose, because it's I get the vibe that it's supposed to be like, say, an Eastern European nation, similarly, again, to Papers, Please. Or maybe it is just, it's a very literal translation. Some of it does not flow, and some of it is just plain wrong. It is a beta, so hopefully that'll get sorted out, assuming it's not on purpose. Also, I don't think anyone would literally say IE, but still. So yeah. everything we need to spy on absolutely everything anyone is doing and collect information. That includes even if they're not doing anything wrong, by the way. So yeah, let's get through this and we should get the opportunity to pick whether or not we want to do the tutorial. We will hide the tutorial. So we get given our journal. I'm also curious if it randomizes who stays here. Also, I think my door may have just gone, so bear with me 1 second. Apologies, it did go, but it was just the mail getting put through the door. Okay, so find it. Oh, it's still doing the tutorial, it's just not giving us the messages. Okay. So we'll do what it says and find the cameras in the office. Middle viewing angle, videotaping available. Yoink. Yoink. Are we good to go? Hopefully it'll let us do our own thing after this. So far it looks like saying no to tutorial has just turned off the prompts though. Yes. Oh right, no prompts. So yeah, this is showing us how to install cameras to spy on people. Do the other one over there. They sound like night vision coming on for some reason. Although they do work in the dark, so I guess that makes sense. So we get both money and, what do we call this? Reputation? Something like that? Yeah. You use your reputation to buy new surveillance gear. Yep, so he's away. Yep. So we've got a new government directive, which we will look at in a second when he goes. Yep. Make sure you don't get caught spying on them, is what he's telling us here. Don't get caught breaking and entering. We do have a skeleton key though, we can get into every room in the apartment. So, first things first, we have to come to the phone and learn what the new directive is. So we'll do that. I like the way he shuffles. Your call accepted. Hello Carol, you've learned your main duties, ready to receive a task? Yes. Set surveillance in apartment number 2. Jacob Mianchik lives there. You can always buy required cameras from the state shop. Be careful to enter an apartment when they're not home. So, we will buy a camera. In fact, we'll buy a few, because we have enough. There we are. And yeah, it does look like the same people are living here for purposes of the beta, at least. I assume in the full game there'll be a certain random nature to it. And as you can see, eventually we get the ability to fill more floors. So this is his apartment. He is not home. So we're going to let ourselves in and have a little look around. We want to find stuff that profiles the person that lives here. For example, deck of cards and dice. If something is red, that means we can click on it to collect evidence on the person. So we now know that he gambles. We can actually examine the chair as well. I can't remember if there's any reason to do that. Nope. Let's try examining the TV. Nothing in there. We'll fit our camera in case the guy comes home while we're still doing the checking. At least we'll do this. And let's have a look in here. Directly underneath the camera. And there's a broken bottle. With a necessary skill, the broken bottle turns into a dangerous weapon. So now we know he has that. And let's quickly get the last 2 things, or 3 things checked, and then get out here before he returns home. That's not him. So bookshelf and bed. And then we've fully explored the apartment. And then we can move on. So not only is there quests, I guess you could call them, from the ministry to look into specific people, you can just find stuff happening yourself. You also get quests from your family that are independent of what the ministry wants. certain mundane things like, say, your daughter loses her toy and you've got to go find it. Ministry of Order. Congratulations, your first task was a success. You are awarded complex recipes for a chef and 50 reputation points. See, there shouldn't be a full stop there and then no capital on the and. Also, you can start sentences with the and, but you really should try and avoid it where possible. So little things like that. Spy upon him. Use surveillance cameras. When a tenant does something banned within the camera's range, the action icon changes its colour. Click on the icon to add it to evidence, and then you can attach evidence to your report. So now we're going to lie in wait. We have to gather evidence, and we should find that a bus pulls up and our man Jacob will appear. Although first of all, I guess we might as well get the mail while we're waiting on him arriving. That'll probably tell us something new has been banned. Oh, that's the guy right there. Charlie Smith, the son of the miners' trade union leader, was found unconscious. Criminals pumped him with drugs and he is currently being treated and rehabilitated in the hospital. Ministry of Order advises citizens to be alert and interfere with any attempts to manufacture and spread drugs. Remember, your child could be next. Voice of Truth. See, I think this is stuff attached by, like, a dissident group, shall we say. So let's go back down to surveillance. We'll double click to go quicker. And we're just going to kind of watch here. There's Mr. Jacob. And we now have evidence that he makes drugs, which is against the law if we go down to here. He is breaking Directive 6039 as of September 1st, 1984. So, we're going to go here and we're going to write a report. We are going to drop a report on apartment number 2, Jacob Manishek. He violated, what was it, 6039 from September 1st. And we have evidence which we can drop in. And we can just, oh no, that's for, that miscellaneous information is for drawing up character reports, not necessarily for breaking the order. Breaking the law, rather. I read order and my brain thought, yeah, you want to say order right now. So there we go. And there's a reward for getting that done. The music just kicked in a little bit because the cops are probably on the way. Yeah, they are. That's a vendor that appears every now and then. You can buy stuff from him. Mr. Policeman, your truncheon looks like a dildo. Police brutality! Poor old Mr. Jacob. I know his first name is Jacob, not his surname, but, you know. We should also be introducing ourselves to people as this is going on, and just generally talking to the wife, talking to the family. Learn about what happened. Who lives in apartment number 2? A rather unpleasant person. Unpleasant is not the word. I left with him alone in the kitchen and he told me so many things. He tried to paw her, pig. It can't be true. He has such a face one would expect anything from him. See, the English is so bad there. I think she was implying he was like trying to touch her daughter, I think. So either way, we got rid of a bad person. So that's technically good. New message received. There goes the vendor. Let's go see what the new message is. So we want to learn about the people who currently live here in apartments 1 and 3. 2, we will also need to get a new tenant. Philosophy is nonsense. Dead words. So now certain books are no longer allowed. Hang on, did that not count as grabbing it? Wait. It should do. Yeah, there we are. So now if we look at this, Paul Williams books are prohibited. Not allowed them. We can also repair apartment number 2 with some of our money, because that means we can bring in a new tenant. And we want to bring people in, but we also want to make sure we know everything about them. Let's ask about the news. I haven't believed you get this place in the university for me. Also, a bin lorry is going past, so apologies if the dog starts barking. So this is a lady who lives in one of the houses. Let's acquaint ourselves. I'm Carl, I'm the new house manager. It's nice to meet you. I'm Maria Schimmer. Have you brought your family here? We've moved in just recently and it would be nice to meet you. Acquaint. It's nice to meet you. Acquaint. It's nice to meet you. Okay. So now we know something else about someone who lives here. So that was that lady, and this gentleman I think is her husband. What do you want honoured from this honoured archive worker? Acquaint. Let me introduce myself. He is Mark Rannick. Maybe that's his wife then. There is two married couples, assuming it's the same as it was before. Do my best to do everything that's right. Ask about his wife. Rosa works in the canteen. So there we go. We just managed to social engineer some information out of him that may be pertinent later on or not. Let's go talk to Beady Eyes over there. I believe this is his wife. Good afternoon. Acquaint. Hello, let me introduce myself. Oh, that's me. Where's Rosa Rannick? Yeah, so that is his wife. I've already met. Did you just call him a naughty husband? Ask about the husband. He spends his vacation in a company of his fishing rod. So we know he loves fishing. Ask about the son. Hasn't seen him for so very long. Again, that might come into play. And we learned that that's sad. So there's something off in her past regarding her son. So if we wanted to fill in any information, we can kind of click on someone like, say, we've learned about them, so we know that she works in the canteen. Her husband, we know that he loves fishing. We also know that they're employed. So he's an archive employee and she is a canteen cook. They don't break the law with any of that information. However, if we wanted to, we could come over here and characterize them for the state. So that the state has lots of information on them. Keep an eye on them. So we can drop a report or we can categorize a person. So we don't really have enough information for that yet, but if we wanted to, we could say, hey, Miss Rosa Rannick, she's a cook. We know that she likes cooking, so we'll put that in there. And you get rewarded for finding that information out and providing it to the state. And that, in turn, gives you enough to get cameras so you can spy on more people, earn more money, and then eventually open up more of the apartments to let other people in. So, I forgot that there was actually a choice here. I let him in when I was playing this off camera. We're going to choose this person and see what they're like. Which again gives us some more points and cash. Oh, we have a new directive coming in and our son has a side quest. Let's get the state message first. Might be something very specific about the person that's moving in. Or in fact, I think you can ask about him. Congratulations, your task was a success. You've been rewarded. Yep, you have to answer the phone every time it rings, otherwise you're in trouble. Write characteristics after you've done a survey, in other words, once you've fully spied on them. Request data on a new tenant. Right, we have to wait a little bit to get information on this new guy. No violations, banned items turned in 19, fine for violating public order in 1983, papers fine, job heart surgeon. Oh, there's a quest I got later on where someone was deathly ill and I needed a doctor and I had no idea how to do anything about it. I think I needed this person. Civil reliability 6 out of 10, not enough war. No special control required. Finish conversation. So the wife and her son has a side quest now. What is it, dear wife? Domestic problem. I need your help, honey. I can't find my big saucepan. Yeah, so this is the same as I've had before. She's lost her saucepan. We can actually borrow one off of multiple neighbours, I think. Also, it's the evening, isn't it? So most people are home. Hey, there's a new person. Let's talk to them. I haven't actually met them before. Meet. Why does it change from acquaint to meet? I'm here to introduce myself, Carol the landlord. Honoured, I'm Aloysius Flack. I can't pronounce these names. Never heard of you before. What are you famous for? Let me know if you need anything. Oh, what problems could I possibly have? Nothing. You're so busy. Ask about Claus rumour. Everything is fine. I wanted to ask about... He's weird. He's not letting us talk. About your neighbour? Alright, yeah, there's something off with this guy. Or a girl, because he just called us dear. So, we just found out a little bit more about Claus there. So if we finish the conversation and go to Claus... No, I don't want you to run over here, my man. I want to go into here. Which one is Claus? There's Claus. So he smokes a pipe, and his neighbour wishes that he didn't. Again, he's not breaking the law unless a new mandate comes in that says, hey, you're not allowed to smoke anymore. And I believe we talked to our son, he is after some books. I can't remember if they're books that were banned or not. Do you need anything? Also, apologies for the dog barking. Economic classes started and we were given a list of literature. Yeah, so he needs some books. So we now have a side quest as well. Hopefully find him some books. So I think I've shown off as much of Beholder as I want to show off for now. As you saw on the title screen, you can fill out a survey and potentially get the full game when it is released later in the fall. I'll put a link to the Steam store page in the description box below. There's no price listed yet because there's no set release date. It's just the end of year at some point. I love the visual style. It's very Limbo-esque. And I like the aspect of spying and the evolving storyline as well. Also, I hear my dog jumping at the door again, so I think I might have to go answer it again. So now is a good time to end. I apologise for cutting off so abruptly, but check out that link if you want to know more. But that's it, yeah, this is Beholder. Hope you enjoyed, and ta-ta for now.